Hi guys, Miranda here for my Tuesday live, which is actually on Wednesday this week. So we went on date night last night and things got a little bit hectic. So anyway, that's why today I'm doing our Tuesday live on a Wednesday this week. Okay, so today's live is called 3 Ways to Help with Destructive Behaviour. So, and I'm thinking small kids, so I'm thinking, 5 years and under. 3 ways to help with destructive behaviour in small children. So do you ever have those moments when your child's just ripping everything apart? They've got so much energy, they don't know what to do with themselves, they've got those boosts of hormones, all those sorts of things. What do you do when your child starts being really, really destructive and doing things that you really, really don't want them to do? So I've got 3 different things to do. That was a weird 3. I've got 3 different things to do here for that. So the first one is distract and redirect. So I'm going to pop the link below this, by the way, for my redirection strategy, which was a parenting strategy I shared a few weeks ago. It's not the same as distracting, but it's nearly the same. So distract and redirect your child. So basically you can distract your child, which is what we all go to, right? Distraction is the golden rule when it comes to toddlers and preschoolers and things like that. Distract your child by giving them another toy, getting them to look at something different, getting their focus off the thing that they're distracting and find something else. So distract rather than destruct, right? So that's sort of easy to remember. So find something else that they can do, something else interesting. So one of the things my little kids do is my middle child, when she wants her brother to not have a toy, she gives him something else and goes, here you go, Fletchy. She's trying to distract him, but she gives him something so boring that he's not even interested in it. So make sure when you are distracting your child, you're not distracting them with something really boring. Not distracting them with something they've played with thousands of times. If this is something they're intent on destroying or intent on being over the top with or are really, really into playing in a super rough way or whatever, and you don't want them to be doing that, you need to distract them with something that's super interesting, right? Super entertaining. Something they're going to go, oh, I totally want to do that instead of this. So yeah, that's the key to distraction. And redirection is basically making sure that they move away and do that as well. So it's not just going, look, there's a thing over there. It's actually going and moving with them and helping them be redirected onto a different task. So that's number 1. Okay, so that should help with some destructive behaviour. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect, but these are just some tips and strategies that you might like to use. So my number 2 is to give a task. So to give your children a task is obviously another type of distraction or redirection anyway, but to give them a task helps them feel important, helps give them a responsibility. And I'm not talking about pick up your shoes, or it could be that. It's always a favourite, pick up your shoes. But it can be a task to be mum's helper. So I quite often get kids to help. So for instance, today at playgroup, some of the kids did not want to pack up their things and they didn't want to finish in the sandpit or didn't want to finish whatever they were doing. So one of my strategies to get the little kids to help with that is to get them to be my helper. I'm like, I'm going to need 3 or 4 helpers to help me push the trolley back into the playgroup shed. That's basically what we did. And the kids are like, oh, yeah, I totally want to be your helper. Like, yes, I do. So they quickly pack their toys away and they want to come be your helper. It's like the classic trick. So get them to be your helper or get them to be your special person who's going to be so strong and I really need your help. What would I do without you? Without being too patronising, because they see through it if you're being literally really, really non-genuine. But it is helpful to have little helpers, mostly. So basically give a task, get them to be your helper, give them responsibility. You can see the difference between, like in primary school, so I'm a primary school teacher, you can see the difference in the grade 6s, for instance, in the Buddies program. I don't know if you remember or whatever the Buddies program. So grade 6s are quite often given a prep to be a friend with, and the teachers give them opportunities to become a friend and to, do little work together and things like that through the year. And it's really amazing to see the grade 6s who one moment are so childish and so disrespectful or whatever they are. You give them the responsibility of playing with a prep or looking after a prep or showing a prep what we do at our school. The difference in their demeanour is amazing. It is amazing. And it's not useful. It's really just as good for the older kids as it is for the younger kids. So it's great for the younger kids because they get to learn stuff. They get an older friend, all this sort of stuff. But for the older one, the learning of responsibility is huge, especially for those kids that haven't been given it much. So this is talking about toddlers, preschoolers still. Give them a task, give them a responsibility, and ask them to be your little helper, because then they pretty much pumps their tyres up, doesn't it? So distract and redirect, give a task and a responsibility with them, and you do it with them, right? We're not just saying, here you go do this. Sometimes you can, if it's something that they love to do and they know what to do, that's great. But okay, and the third one is something that I find really, really helpful, especially for boys. Now, I've got my first boy who's little at the moment, so he's 17, nearly 18 months old, but I've seen and used this with boys and girls and everything. So number 3 way to help with destructive behavior is to get into some physical play. So basically, kids have got hormones going on, just like adults. Kids have got boosts of hormones at different levels, and they've got energy. They've got so much energy, right, kids? And especially when they get to like 2 and 3 and stuff, they have got so much energy that they do not know what to do with. And it's only going up from here to a point, right? So physical and rough play is really, really good for kids when they need to get that destructive behavior out. So quite often children who are inside, have been inside too much during the day. I see it in my son already, who've been not engaging in that physical stuff as much. And I know for boys it can be worse because they have got so much more physical energy, right? A lot of the time, not be too general, but a lot of the time they do. So physical and rough play is super important, especially for boys. I find my girls are really physical and rough sometimes too. Quite often, trampoline's the best thing ever. They go out to the trampoline, they jump around, they pretend to be dogs, whatever they're doing, and it's really fun. Getting that physical activity and physical play is very important. Super important. So one thing I see a lot with parents and a lot with kids is that their kids are expected to be calm, or they're expected to be playing, or they're expected to be whatever. Let them get out and be physical. Let them be a little bit rough. Like, we don't have to be so rough we're going to hurt ourselves all the time. But let them get physical. Get them on the ground and tickle them. Let them get you on the ground and tickle you. Roll around with them on the floor. Getting out there and being physical. It doesn't have to be outside. Outside is great because you can go go be physical out there. But just interacting with them and then letting them interact themselves or with their brothers and sisters if they have them in that physical, a little bit rough play, does wonders for their development. It does wonders for their fine and gross motor skills. It does wonders for their mentality. It does wonders for them not needing to be destructive because they've used their energy in a more constructive way. So find something constructive that your child can do. This is exactly why older kids just benefit so much from sports, because they get out there and they get they can get rough or they can get whatever. They're getting that energy out. It's really, really good. I know that I've got a 6.5-year-old who is exactly the same. She's a girl, but that doesn't matter. She needs to jump, she needs to run, she needs to hop, she needs to skip, she needs to balance on things, she needs to create, she needs that brain space as well. But physically, super, super helpful to stop that rough and destructive play. Well, destructive play anyway. So, yep. They're my 3 tips for today. So that's my Tuesday or Wednesday live today pretty much done. So 3 ways to help destructive behaviour in your children. Number 1, distract and redirect. Number 2, give a task and get them to be mum's helper. Give them some responsibility and work it through with them. This is not, if you don't do it, get in trouble. Why don't we go and do this together? So it's another type of distraction really. And the third one is physical and rough play. Get out there and get your kids, get their energy out, get them to run around, get them to do lots of things. They learn lots and lots through it, and it's worth it in the end fully, okay? And if your child falls over, it's not the end of the world. It's going to be okay. All right, so that's the end of my Tuesday live today. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope this is useful. If this is useful, subscribe below if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, pop a comment below. Is this helpful? Is this something that you do all the time already with your kids? Is this something that you'd like to try with your kids? Let me know. I'd love to hear your comments. Let's talk about things, all right? I'd love to hear about it. Okay, have a great day. Hi guys, Miranda here. Okay, so do you want to know more about parenting a toddler? Do you want to know more about parenting a preschooler and all the different things that they need with regards to social, emotional skills and academic skills, as well as how you can connect with them on a daily and consistent basis as a parent? I think that's really, really important because it sets them up for a much better life and much better expectations and a much better parenting journey for you and childhood journey for them, basically. So if you want to learn more about that sort of thing, that's what I post weekly on here. I post weekly strategies and tips up here on my YouTube video. So hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell-shaped icon if you want to hear more of these little videos. Also, something you might be interested in, especially if you're a toddler mum or a baby mum, is my online course, the Toddler Workshop. So this Toddler Workshop, as I say, it's an online course. It will take you 90 minutes to complete. It is easy. It's a slideshow with me talking behind it. It's got a workbook. You also get 3 bonus printables as part of it, and one of them's got my amazing Play-Doh recipe in it. So get you ready for that because it's really, really great. So if you're interested in the Toddler Workshop, my 90-minute online course, feel free to go to the link below and find out all about it because it is amazing. And I've had some really, really good feedback from people about my workshop. I've run it in person and it is now available online. So if you're interested in the Toddler Workshop, go below and see the link there. And apart from that, you can follow me on my blog, smartmamasmartkids.com. I'm Miranda Hodge. I'm the Geelong parenting coach. And my blog is called Smart Mama Smart Kids. It's straight for you if you are a toddler or preschooler mum. And I can't wait for you to join my community and be part of it. So get on board, check me out on Instagram, but otherwise don't forget to hit the subscribe button and I'll see you next week with some more tips and strategies. See you later, guys. Bye.